ChannelYou is a service that enables web content creators to bring their content to television via devices such as Roku, Boxee, and smart TVs. In addition to creating channel applications for these devices, ChannelYou includes supports that enable producers to more easily find and work with writers, artists, and other creatives in order to produce more content and manage it more easily. The original idea was to provide software as a service to enable self-service creation of channels for the Roku streaming device so that independent producers could make their content available on television. We conducted face-to-face interviews and surveys to determine the following: how much content they have and where they're currently broadcasting, their current cost and revenue, whether and how they envision paying for a service such as the one we're proposing, and, most importantly, what they saw as the most important problem to be solved. There's a great disparity between what happens in the traditional entertainment world and what happens in the web world. In traditional television, the producer simply produces content that's been approved by the network. The network then takes on the responsibility for costs related to distribution, promotion, and so on. Contrast that with the web, where producers are expected to not only produce their content, but also to pay to have it distributed. On the other hand, budgets and viewer metrics are treated in completely different ways. A network show such as The Walking Dead may get $2 to $3 million in budget, where a web show may be produced on next to nothing. But well, if The Walking Dead gets 2 million viewers, it's considered a success. No one pays attention if the web series gets the same 2 million viewers or even more. Because of the low budgets that constrain many independent producers, it's difficult for them to find and attract talent. Most producers seem to favor YouTube for several reasons. These include the fact that it's free and they don't incur hosting costs, and YouTube's partner program, which enables producers to receive 40% of the ad revenue their content generates. For some producers, this can be significant, but the more significant this amount, the more they seem to resent the 60% that YouTube keeps. In general, however, producers seem to favor having their content available to the widest range of users, including on iTunes and on other sites. Most producers were open to the idea of some sort of premium model in addition to advertising, but only if their content continued to remain available to those who would not or could not pay for it. For example, they suggested that a premium channel might provide content early or without ads. Producers have their hands full just making the content users want to see. While some of the largest producers are extremely cognizant of building out their brand and insist on controlling every aspect of it, the majority just want their content available and don't want to deal with all of the details. These producers are more likely to go on to aggregators such as Machinima, who will take care of everything for them and just send them a check. In general, content producers just want to be seen and to be compensated so that they can afford to make more content. In talking to producers, we realized that they need for us to do much more than simply provide a Roku channel and leave them to their own devices, if you'll pardon the pun. Instead, we plan to offer the following: channel creation for all major platforms, starting with Roku and moving to Boxee and other devices. A directory of all channels and content distributed through the ChannelYou network, enabling better visibility for content. A content management system that lets users manage their content not just on Roku and other devices, but also on YouTube, all from a single interface. Provide a system of revenue sharing that enables producers to trade services such as writing or design for a percentage of advertising revenue. Our intent is to create a community of creatives who can support and benefit each other. We also plan to partner and integrate with video aggregators, offering management of TV-related distribution as a way to provide a value add to their users and increase their revenue without increasing their overhead. Because this is a relatively new market, its size is extremely difficult to quantify, but consider these statistics. 32% of all U.S. Internet traffic in 2012 was Netflix content. Just the delivery of content, that is, cost for streaming video, were $750 million 18 months ago, with 40 to 45% growth expected over the next 2 years. Similarly, this technology can be applicable to anyone with video content, from the largest movie studio to an individual with home movies to share. Perhaps the easiest metric to look at is YouTube channels, which provide a similar pattern of grouping content for viewing under a single brand. According to YouTube, tens of millions of channels have been created. Each of these channels represents a potential customer. If we capture even 0.5% of a market of, say, 50 million channels, it represents 250,000 customers. At even the bare minimum of 100 apiece, this represents a potential of $25 million. These numbers don't take into account premium users, monthly fees, or markup on optional hosting charges. Overall, we feel that this is a viable opportunity. Thank you very much.